Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back. By request, a couple people had asked me to kind of dive into my Betaflight settings for the Lizard95, so this is my attempt at doing that. I'll also include a link to a CLI dump in the description below. I'm not really a Betaflight or tuning expert, but I had a couple people ask me, so I'll try to run through some of my Betaflight settings with you guys here. I do run 3.2 on here. I'll do the best I can. If this is helpful, let me know. If not, it's just a waste of time, so no harm, no foul there. Let's dive in. All right, so let's get plugged in here. We'll just go through all the tabs here, and I'll show you what I got. So in configuration, T-Shot 600, 4.5 is the stock motor idle throttle for Betaflight 3.2. I do run 8K and 4K. I know this is F3 in a Lizard, and usually they recommend 4K and 4K, but 8K and 4K seem to be working fine for me. S-Bus configuration for Taranis, that's what I use. And in features, I have LED strip, OSD, anti-gravity on. I keep this on all the time. And important is dynamic filter turned on as well. And then my beeper configuration is here. So that's about it really for that. All that fun stuff. Power and battery, pretty standard here. PID tuning tab. So I was running two profiles when I was using the 2035 props, because I did get kind of warm motors on 3S, so I had a profile for 3S and a profile for 2S, but on the 2040 I've actually cut that out. So these numbers here are really tuned for the 2040 props right now. Basically they're pretty close to stock. I've added some P gain for yaw and made a couple other tweaks, but these numbers run really smooth for me on the 2040s, and my anti-gravity gain is set to 2. That seems to work well for me. The filter settings, I do have dynamic filtering turned on, so I have this set to PT1, the D-term low pass filter, and you'll see I have the gyro notch filters and the D-term notch filters all turned off, and I'm just basically relying on the dynamic filtering option. Receiver tab, yeah, this all is pretty standard here. I can actually turn down the stick min a little bit, or the min throttle. So we'll go ahead and do that. And actually can up this a little bit. If your transmitter is set correctly, this should be, in fact, we can turn my transmitter on here and take a look. You should have 1,000, the endpoints should come up 1,000 and 2,000, and the mid should be 1500. Let's check that. Pretty sure I have that configured right, but all right. So I just went ahead and plugged a battery in, because sometimes the receiver tab will act funny if you're just power off USB. There we go. That looks better. You'll see my endpoints are all set to 1000 on the low end and 2000 on the high end, and all my mids are at 1500, more or less. Yeah, there we go. A little bit of jitter in the stick. There's a few ways to do this. I know that you can set your trims and your sub trims and all that stuff on your transmitter. I use the RX range commands in CLI, and basically what I do is I type in RX range, and then 0, 1, 2, and 3 are the 4 main channels. So if I'm doing my 0 channel, which in my case is aileron, and then I'll just type in whatever numbers are I'm getting for min and max in the receiver tab. A lot of times for it tends to be 987 and 2011, and what this will do is rescale the endpoints of your sticks in Betaflight. This works for me. I don't know if this is 100% correct or better than using trims and sub trims, but This works for me. I mean, it's and I don't have to mess around with the trims. I find it just easier to do it this way. So, yeah. My modes, I have ARM on. Oh, and that's not a good idea. The ARM right there, but I have ARM on aux1, and then on aux2, I basically select between angle mode and air mode, and yeah. I have a switch set up for the beeper if I want to turn the beeper on. And on that same switch, I can also turn my lights on and off. Motors tab, I don't think there's anything we really need to look at here. Yeah, pretty standard stuff here. OSD, set this up however you want. In case you're wondering, this is the LED strip configuration for Lizard in case you lose it for some reason. And that's really about it. I'll leave a CLI dump in the description in case you want to dive in a little more. I guess the key thing is really the way I have the filtering set up. Dynamic filter is on, anti-gravity is on, and then over in the PID tuning section, under filter, PT1, and then the notch filters are off. Be wary when you do this if you're going to do this, and definitely check for hot motors as you disable these filters. This is by default set to biquad. So what you want to do is enable PT1 and then maybe set your first gyro notch filter to 0. Fly a little bit, check the motors. Do the second one, fly a little bit, check the motors, and then the D-term notch. Just make sure nothing is getting really hot after you're flying, because you mess around with these filters and you can burn up a motor if something is wrong. And yeah, that's about it, guys. No actual DVR footage today. It's a daily DVR with no DVR footage, but I know a couple of people had asked me to run through this and dump my CLI, so I figured I'd make a quick video. Thanks for watching. Enjoy.